lineman is a skilled tradesman who builds and maintains electrical power systems, both above ground and below, including the installation and repair of power lines, transformers, capacitors, and more. The average wage is around $30 an hour, or about $62,000 a year. You need physical strength, stamina, and problem-solving skills, plus some vocational training and on-the-job experience.
My name is John Princeton Regal. I am a local operations lineman. When a person's lights go out, they call in and they call me out to go and see why it went out and get it back on if I can. My job is important because problems happen. Storms come through, outages, things happen you have no control over, and I find the problem if there is one, take control of the problem, and correct the problem. If I touch a power line, that power line goes through everybody's house, every building, across the state. And so I feel like as if my job, I'm affecting everybody, and I like being able to serve. The only thing you have to have under your belt is a high school diploma. After that, they put you through a series of testing, written testing, physical testing, just to make sure that this is what you really want to do. You have to be in good physical condition. You have to be mentally strong because sometimes you want to throw in the towel and give up. It gets hard sometimes, but just knowing that what you're doing is not for you, you're doing it for that family that's sitting in the house, no lights, no heat, no air, and you want them back comfortable. You want them to have power, because that's what you do. You serve them. What do I love about my job? The money. But seriously, I love helping people. I love serving people. If they have a problem with their power, who else can they call? They call me. I love the outdoors. I'm not stuck in an office all day. Every day it's a different adventure. I never know what I'm gonna have that day. I have to turn on my computer in my truck and see what they have for me to do. So every day it's exciting. It is what you make it. Computers can't totally replace us. There's always gonna be a need for a lineman. The lines go down, we have to go out, and put them back up. One of the guys that I work with told me, he said, "You at a good place." Think of one thing people are always gonna need: utilities. So this job security within itself.
Wow, welcome. You guys are here with TAP Workshop today, guys. Workforce Development. I am Chris Rogers, Executive Director. I'm live. I can't even cut. I am Chris Rogers, the Executive Director of TAP Together Assisting People. And today we have a wonderful host from Alabama Power. We got Jason and Tom. They're going to be talking to you guys about what it takes to get that utility job and requirements and things like that, guys. Before I kick it off, guys, please go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Jason.
Okay, good deal. Well, first of all, good evening to you, Chris. What's up, TAP family, all those out there? Glad to be here with you all. I'm Jason Waters. I'm lead recruiter with Alabama Power, supporting our talent acquisition efforts in many different facets of the business, particularly in skilled craft labor. Been with the company now almost 10 years. I started in 2011 with Southern Nuclear, which is a subsidiary of Southern Company, and then was able to transfer and move to Alabama Power back in 2015, and have been just loving it ever since. I always tell people I'm an adopted son of Alabama. I'm born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, College Park, Georgia to be exact, and got my undergrad degree from Morehouse College in Atlanta, graduated, worked a little while, then decided to go back to school, got my master's degree in HR from University of Tennessee, but no disrespect to anybody that may be a Vols fan. I'm not a Vols fan. Didn't stay there long enough to become one, and been working with Southern Company ever since, and enjoy the work that I do, and I'm glad to be here with everybody.
Oh yes, thanks for coming here today. I mean, it's a pleasure to have you, and Morehouse, Tennessee. It's okay. Coach Pruitt, my guy. So I just talked to
That's
Coach
right.
Pruitt a couple weeks ago. So I'm rooting for Coach Pruitt, but not when we play in Alabama though. That's it.
That's right. 1 week, you can't be his friend. I understand.
Yeah, yes. That's 1 week. 1 week. We got Tom. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit, Tom.
Sure. Tom McNeal. I grew up in North Alabama. Came up kind of through the community college ranks, because when I was a pretty decent extreme bicycle rider. And so what I was going to do is I was going to make that my professional living. And as I got a little bit better and kind of competed against some of the best people in the world, I realized that wasn't going to work. And so started off at community college, Wallace State in Hanceville, kind of got my legs up underneath me, had a real interest in business. And from there, went to University of Montevallo, graduated there in business, got a secondary business degree, specifically in HR from Athens State University in North Alabama. Kind of got into the recruiting world up there, cut my teeth. Been at Alabama Power now 21 years. And I think between Jason and I would tell you, we probably interviewed 40,000 people, probably
definitely
5,000 people, and easily have read probably close to 1 million resumes. So,
wow.
And we like that, right? We like providing opportunities, at least showing people the opportunities, and the people that are interested, hey, we love to connect the dots for them. And I hope tonight we have a great opportunity to do that with your family and friends and folks that are on the phone.
Oh, so I mean, you guys are not familiar with TAP. We started in 2010, and I was playing football at the University of Alabama. And the biggest thing the need that I saw back then was guys being able to transition. So when I got this opportunity to partner with you guys at Alabama Power, we're talking about utility workers and benefits, pay, because guys have families and things of that nature. It was a marriage made in heaven for us. And I'm so excited to let you guys kind of kick off and talk about the opportunities, and then also too, we're going to be talking about, if you're a high school student, college student, about the apprenticeship, internships directly with Alabama Power, and also about going to the community college with the lineman utility work, Bishop State, Jeff State, and also Lawson State. So, Jason, I'm going to go ahead and let you kind of kick it off, because I'm so excited to hear this information. And man, yes, sir.
I'm excited too. Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate you kicking it off for me. And I know we have a slideshow, and we'll put that up and we'll kind of get going. First, like Chris said, I want to first kind of talk to everyone about the internship opportunities that we have at Alabama Power. And, before that, let's take some steps back. We'll go to the next slide. Let's take some steps back and kind of at least set the foundation. One thing that both Tom and I always stress to, those 1,000 plus people that we talk to is that, hey, if you're looking for a job, quote unquote job, you're probably not going to be successful with us, because we really don't have jobs. We have careers. And I would implore, everyone that's listening this evening to really try to get a grasp on the difference between a job and a career. Most folks have jobs right now. We have more in high school, college, and as we progress through our adult life. But when you have a career, that's something that's very hard to get rid of. That's something that you invest your time in, and what you put into it, you really get out of it 100-fold. So we have great careers within the utility industry. So opportunities exist, not only just with our company, but throughout the industry. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have a great hiring outlook for all line work and skilled occupations, just because, like I said, these are careers. So you have folks that are working 30, 35 plus years, and then eventually they retire. And what we have to do, we can't rebuild, we need to reload. So, these past 5 to 10 years, we've been in that season of doing our best to reload and keep this workforce going. And then, of course, the thing that a lot of people want to hear and like to hear, hey, we have good to great pay and benefits. We'll go to the next slide. So the utility assistant position full-time, and you see we have that is an actual Alabama Power lineman that we have on the screen here, not an actor at all, but the utility assistant role, not internship, but the utility assistant role is an entry-level lineman position. This job with Alabama Power is a union role, a covered role, meaning you start in that entry-level capacity, and then upon satisfactory performance, qualifications, and seniority, you progress up through the apprentice ranks, through the lineman or journeyman, as we call it, ranks, and then progress accordingly, if need be, if it's in your wheelhouse, to a lead lineman or a local operations lineman, or really and truly, like I said, this is a career wherever your path may take you. But we decided a few years ago to take some steps back. And although it's great to have those folks that are ready now, what can we do to help grow our own? And we were very fortunate back in 2016 to get negotiated and ratified a utility assistant internship. Mirrors a lot of what the utility assistant full-time role is, but we'll talk a little bit about what this internship looks like. First off, students, those of you all that are listening right now, students currently enrolled or recent graduates of a 2-year technical program or technical high school, you all qualify for this role. And we also have opened it up to not only just folks coming from the 2-year technical schools or the technical high schools, but also to our military veterans that may have just recently transitioned. Great opportunity for those folks, as well as individuals from our 4-year institutions that have a high manual labor aptitude, which is very important. Now, you see on the next bullet point, we say 2 years manual labor experience. Anything that you can think of, really and truly, is manual labor experience. That could be competitive sports. Now, we have a lot of athletes on with us this evening. Farming, firefighting, military service, working in construction, maintenance, working in the garage, heavy equipment, anything that you have used your hands, we can figure it out. I'll just say that. This is very important to just the culture of our company. You have to be able to demonstrate the ability and desire to work safely and display ethical behavior at all times. I'd even say this is more important than any of the tangible things that you can do, because the way that we look at it is we can teach you everything else, but there are certain things that we just can't teach. Ethics, showing up to work on time, being a team player, those are things that we really got to have. And I know most of the folks that are on with us tonight, y'all get that. You guys understand that. And safety, of course, is paramount for our company, because we want people to come back home the same way that they left every day. Not most days, but every day. Very important to perform physically, demanding activities while working outside in all conditions. And y'all, when we say all conditions, it is truly all conditions. And of course, for those that are in the state of Alabama that are listening, we could easily have all 4 seasons in a week. So that's, of course, those very, very hot summers, those very, very cold winters. Hey, when people want their lights back on, hey, guess what? These folks go to work. So this is very important. Also, from this physical mechanics, you got to be able to bend, kneel, crawl, stoop, stand for long periods of time. Climbing is a big part of this job. Working with hand tools is a big part of this job. That's going to require a lot of bending, standing, kneeling, things like that. Also, candidates that have an awareness of heavy equipment, it's definitely not a requirement, but it's definitely a plus, for those that may come from areas or have had exposure to these type of tools. It helps out a lot. So requirements: must be at least 18 years old and possess a valid driver's license. And for those that are listening with us this evening, if you have to question whether or not your driver's license is valid, you need to go check it out, because it's very tough to tell a guy or girl that, hey, you've come all this way to get this internship, but sorry, your license is suspended. So make sure that you have those things taken care of, because, hey, you're going to be riding in the truck with those crew members. Everybody needs to have a valid driver's license. Also very important, able to work overtime, call out, weekends, holidays. Like I said, everybody wants their lights on or lights back on when they go off, regardless of the season. So it could be a winter holiday, it could be Valentine's Day. Hey, when you get that call from your crew, you got to go out there. And then, Chris, we'll probably talk a little bit about this later, but you must be able to pass our construction and skilled trade test to be fully considered or progress to a full-time utility assistant role. That's a big change than what we've had in years prior, where, hey, before getting the job, you had to pass the CAS test. Now it's one of those where during that period of employment as an intern, you need to make sure that you get that fulfilled, because, like I said, it is a requirement for all of our entry-level linemen. And the CAS test is the construction and skilled trade test is made up of 4 major components: graphic arithmetic, mechanical concepts, reading comprehension, as well as mathematical usage. So any and everything from a manual labor standpoint, we'll take. I also forgot to mention mowing grass. Got a lot of folks that got a lot of grass out there in the state of Alabama. I know you have probably cut some grass, so that's something also that we will take. We can go to the next slide. So you see, I kind of opened up with the requirements, and then we'll talk about the good stuff. Because you may lose people sometimes. We just give them the good stuff on the front end. I'm curious to see who really wants it. The UA internship, like we talked about, is an intentional effort designed to prepare unskilled workers for the utility industry. This is a 3 to 5 month paid internship. I like to tell people it's a 3 to 5 month interview because every day, you know, your peers, your leadership, they're going to see what you're made of, what you're able to do. And then another great thing that I enjoy about it is that you work within your community. We have two disciplines within line work for Alabama Power. That's distribution and then transmission. Our distribution crews are those folks that are supporting, you know, I'll just use it this way, those wood poles that you see in your communities, those meters on the side of your home or dwellings, you know, the distribution crews support that type of work. And then we've all seen as we're going down the highway or rural areas, those big, you know, huge tall steel towers. Those are transmission poles, and we have our transmission crews work with that equipment. Distribution crews, you have to live within 45 miles of respective crew headquarters. Those are all that are on the call that live in the Birmingham area. Chances are, regardless of where you live, you probably live within 45 miles of one of our crew headquarters that are located within the greater Shelby or Jefferson County areas. Also, interns get paid $19 an hour. In fact, I think it's $19.94 an hour. So you factor in working 40 hours a week, as well as whatever potential overtime that you may incur, even as an intern. You know, that's, you know, the way I look at it, that's good money. I'm not going to even, you know, to not embarrass myself, but it took me a long time to even get to $19 an hour. So, you know, that's good stuff. And then, of course, interns with
that. Definitely.
Yeah. And then also interns with, you know, satisfactory performance and their crew's recommendation, you know, that light at the end of the tunnel is guess what? That full-time opportunity. So, you know, this is a great opportunity that, you know, a lot of the young people that we have on the line today, you know, I'd look forward to working with you and you know, putting you in a position to be successful. I think at the core of what Tom and I do, and really and truly Chris as well, is, hey, we want to see other people be successful. It means nothing if I have the information and I keep it to myself. Our goal is, hey, what can we do to make other people better? Because once we make that person better, they're going to pay it forward. And you know, man, that is a goal of ours. And I'm going to kick it off to my partner, Tom, unless Chris, you have any questions.
Hold one second for me, Jason. So just for everybody on the call, on the YouTube live, just when do you guys start taking internships? I mean, when the application begins, is there like summer? Yeah. Do I do spring, January? Who can I reach out to? Yeah. What's that process like?
No, that's a great question. Typically, it's during the summertime or around graduation times. I know we have some college students and high school students that graduate, you know, in December. So typically around December and around May, Chris, is usually when we're taking applications and looking to fill jobs.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you just go on the website. Is there a website I need to go to, or because
there's a website, and I can also give my information if folks have direct information. I may have direct questions to kind of get them plugged in with the info that they need, and I know we can put it on the screen or whatever. Folks, listen, you just write it down. And I don't do this often, but hey, I'm feeling good right now. You can email me directly at the letters JLWATTER at southernco.com. So although my last name is Waters, it's just JL Water at southernco.com, which is SOUTHERNCO.com.
That's fantastic. Fantastic information. Tom, we got the internships. We got job placement. So we're ready for you, Tom. Come on and get us right. Come on. 18. If you're between the age of 18 and 32 years old right now, somebody out there, I need you guys to go out here, reshare this information, because like I said, we're trying to get somebody employed right now. COVID-19 going on. In the Black community, unemployment rate is double. It's over 10-12%. And I know people out there looking for jobs, and TAP, that's what we pride ourselves on, trying to connect people in the community. We have placed over 200 people in college, $35 million in scholarships. And what's more important than anything, being a provider for your family and your wife and your loved ones. So Tom and Jason, man, I'm just so thrilled that you guys are just giving this information out to the community. So if you're between, like I say, Birmingham, Mobile, and those tri-power areas, please listen in. Let's go, Tom.
Absolutely. Well, I've been working on workforce development programs for the last 10 years, working with community colleges and our jobs and our contractors' jobs. So when people come in and they invest the time and money and they do a good job, that we've got careers waiting on them at the end. So I know we're going to pull up the slides here, and I'm so excited about it. So this is what I want to give you guys a real good overview of today. And so when we talk about line worker college programs, okay, we worked with the schools to develop. Basically, we took our own training curriculum that we typically use when we hire new people, and we pulled it and said, community college, you can teach this. We'll train you to teach this appropriately. So when people come out, whether they come to work for us or another utility, they're getting the best training that you can get in the utility industry. And as you see here, it's a 9-week program. So there is no getting a 2-year degree and you're getting art history and some other things that maybe that's just not your field, because if you're interested in this job, you heard Jason say, it's all about outside, hands-on, enjoy that type of work. Sitting in an office all day would literally drive you crazy. So these opportunities are just perfect. Again, 9 weeks. Tell me what I need to know to have a good core, solid foundation for a career. And then when people hire students, applicants, whoever out of this program, they are then going to train you and continually train you to be the best that you can be and continue to move up the chain and make more money. So as you can see here, it shows classes are being offered at Lawson State over in Bessemer, Jeff State at the Center Point campus, and then also Bishop State down at the Southwest campus, which is right near I-10 right there. And so classes are going to start in January 11th. You see that. And they run 10 hours a day, Monday through Thursday. So basically you get 3 days off. And not only us, but 10 other utility contractors hire from these programs. So again, it's not an Alabama Power program. It's not a Pike Electric program. It's all of us. And we're all engaged because, again, people can send you and take your money and pull you into a college program. But if there's not some gold at the end of the rainbow, like Chris said, money and jobs and great careers, then there's really no sense in following that path. So we have a very strong, solid path here that is proven to get people employed. So let's jump to the next slide here. We'll give a little bit more overview of this. So again, the colleges run these programs. So you do have to be 18 years old at time of application. You got to be able to submit to drug screenings because there's certain things here that you'll have to get in the program. Climbing, working at heights. Jason will tell you, I've seen it. People tell us all day, no, I'm not afraid of heights, man. I just need a job. Well, if you make them stand on top of their car, they get nervous, right? And the day is coming where you're going to have to prove it by climbing poles. And so if you're afraid of heights, this is really not the program for you. Chris has got other wonderful partners that probably have some great things, but if you're afraid of heights, the line worker program and any kind of utilities type job that's going to have you off the ground is really just, not the way to go. And so you'll see in here, students can't weigh more than 280. That's because OSHA, the people that set forth safety and health restrictions, they have those things in place. Physical fitness, Jason kind of mentioned that because you're lifting equipment, you're moving, you're doing things, right? Whether you're at our company or a contracting company. And you'll see in here ability to earn a commercial driver's license, because if you do come to work for us, you've got to be able to get one of those in the first X number of months that you're employed with us. Because again, if you think about it right now, we're sending people to Louisiana and Texas to help with storm restoration after Hurricane Laura. And you've got to have everybody to be able to drive. And, if somebody gets tired, the other guy can take over. I say guy, we have women out here too who are just as good, if not better. And when you look at that program cost over that 9 weeks, it's somewhere around $4,300, $4,400. Now, the great news that I will tell you about this is these are WIOA approved programs. And so what WIOA means, if you're not familiar with that, students or families, is that, depending on any kind of, say, maybe type government assistance or income thresholds that you're at, it might pay for the entire program, which is wonderful news. In addition to that, Bishop State, Lawson, and Jeff State, they have scholarships.
Hey, Tom, I'm so sorry. I hate to cut you off. Could you please say that again for them? I don't think they didn't hear that. Could you say that again about the scholarship they might be able to pay for that?
WIOA, I'll just call it a scholarship from the federal government, and they're trying to help people. And it really is a hand up in this case. And so, if you were to apply and come through and you're like, man, I'm not sure if I qualify or not, the schools are going to check on that. If you don't qualify, but you're a great candidate, you look good to them, they'd love to get you in the class, which, it's limited seating. We have scholarships that Alabama Power has sent to the school and said, we want these dispersed. The schools also sometimes have some financial assistance and other mechanisms to help get you there. Because again, if we can get you through 9 weeks and you take it seriously and you come out as one of the top candidates, then there's going to be great things at the end of this. So that seems like maybe a lot of money for a 9-week program, but I would tell you it's more about the quality versus the quantity of time that you're spending there. It doesn't take 2 years to get somebody trained up for the foundational part of this job. Now if we hire you or a contractor hires you, just enough to be safe. I'm not even going to say be dangerous, but just enough to know what's going on. And then we're going to train you up from there. We tell people all the time, I think Jason does too, is that you're going to get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in utility work if you come to us. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be, because things are always changing. Technology is changing. How we do things change. And so over time, if you want to learn and keep doing it, this is the place to be, because that's going to continue to happen. So please don't let the money piece hold you back from applying. Now, if you go through the whole thing and, I got to have money, but I struck out here and struck out there and struck out here, so right now I just can't come. Okay, that possibly could happen. But, for this first class that Bishop sent out, we ended up hiring 10 people out of that class. Several came through on WIOA funding. And actually, one person in particular, I know, Healy, he came to work for us, and his story was he was in a tough spot. He was dealing with a lot of tough things, welfare, just struggling in life. And he came in there and said, I'm going to give this everything I got. And he did. And good things happened. Companies were fighting over which company was going to get him. And he had always wanted to work at Alabama Power. And man, we were happy to make him a job offer. So, Chris, was that a good overview on partnership?
Man, they got me fired up. You got me, Alabama Power hiring. I might come out there right now and climb some poles.
That's it. Now, we can do that. We can make that happen.
And then also too, I think you hit it on. You talked about the scholarship opportunity. I mean, just when you sit here and think about it, $4,300. The videos clearly iterated that. So you're looking at a $60,000 job plus overtime. You get up to $80,000. I mean, I just think that's incredible. Also, we have one person asking, do you guys partner with the Birmingham Promise program or is anything in the works on that, or
And at least from what we heard initially, okay, and it's because Mayor Woodfin is doing great stuff up here, is that the focus for that was for 2-year and 4-year degreed programs, not for these short-term type certificate programs. But I'm not sure if the verdict has been finalized on that.
Okay. No. Well, for me, and it's like I said, for TAP, we have all different sectors of young athletes. Like I said, we have some that's going to a 4-year university. We have some that going to community college. And we got some guys that have to go to the military. And then fortunately, we might have 3 or 4 guys who just college ain't in their it's just not going to happen. So for me to be able to plug them in with you guys and get them in this program for $4,300, even if they can get a scholarship or can't get one, they got to pay, or we got to help try to get them over the finish line. And to get an opportunity like this, I just think, it's crime prevention, is putting these guys on the right track. 401k. Also, could you talk about the scholarship? I mean, the tuition reimbursement program you guys got at Alabama Power.
Yeah, we can do that. And then, Chris, what I want to do, the only other slide I've got is how people can apply for those line worker programs. Let me hit on that if it's okay, and then I'll hit tuition reimbursement if it's okay with you. So for those on the show tonight, these are the deadlines and the links to the schools to where you can go in and literally put in an application tonight. It will not take you longer than 3 or 4 minutes max. Okay. And so you can see the deadlines are coming up pretty soon. Lawson and Jeff State, September 18th. If you're down around Mobile, you've got Bishop. And so it's key to get that in now. Even if you're like, well, I'm not sure about my finances and I don't know about a resume, I hadn't finished it. Don't worry about that. What you've got to do is get your name in the hat and then let the process continue on, because once you apply, there's some other screenings and evaluations that you would have to go to the school and handle. It's limited seating. Down at Bishop State, it's only going to be 12 people in that January class. For Lawson and Jeff State, it will be 10 people. And so we know for a fact there's a need for applicants, good applicants. And this is a great opportunity. It's why we're on here tonight. So with these applications and the deadlines here, I really encourage you, if this sounds like something that sounds good to you, or you're a family member on here and you're like, but I got a son or a daughter, man, they're not even on here tonight. And this would just be right up their alley. Hey, please share it. And if there's somebody at your church or, in the neighborhood or down the street, and you're like, I just really think this would be a great fit. Look, we want to shout it from the rooftops. There's going to be lots of opportunities, a lot more classes. We're just talking about the January class, right now. And these are just around line workers. We've got another thing you'll see on one of the slides around the HVAC fast track program, that we'll talk about. But to your point, Chris, on the tuition reimbursement, once people get hired at Alabama Power, and Jason, you tell me if I'm wrong on this, but we provide, is it $5,000 a year, Jason, on that tuition reimbursement?
I think it is at minimum 5,000, but then you have a little room with at management's discretion what those funds look like, and basically what that looks like, Chris, and for those that are on the phone, on with us tonight, you can start with the company, and after you put some time in and you decide, hey, I want to go back and get a bachelor's degree, I want to get my master's degree, or a certain type of license or certification, the company will pay for it. Now, I have to say this, it has to be relevant to the job and the work. So, don't think you're going to get an art degree, working at the power company. But, I think some of the greatest success stories I've seen are folks that may have come in as a lineman and decide, hey, you know what? I think I can be an engineer. I think I get the application component of power delivery or electricity. I'd love to be an electrical engineer, and I can't even count on my hand anymore how many leaders, and I said that, leaders that are in this company that have taken advantage of the tuition reimbursement program, that started in what may have been an entry level or technical position, and then their trajectory totally changed by them investing in their education, and then the company, of course, investing in their future as well.
Couldn't agree.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying that's just exciting news. You guys are a phenomenal company to work for, and also too, we got a couple of questions coming down. Please feel free. You have a question, hey, leave it, drop it. That's why I'll be bringing them right here. So I want you to talk to the source at hand. Tom, you want to fill this question at the bottom?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take this one. We'll leave the hard ones for Jason. All right. But so I'm reading the thing here on. Me and Jason read a lot of resumes over that time. So what are the things that look great on resumes? And I will tell you this, Matthew. Thank you for the question. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a group earlier this week, and a lot of people, it's unless you have sat on the side of being a hiring manager or worked in HR recruiting, sometimes resumes and interviewing, it just feels like it's just foreign and it's just different. And people think, well, there's this secret to be successful. And Matthew, I would tell you that there's not. But I will tell you this, the best example I can give you is, if we had 4 people who were cashiers at grocery stores, if I was to ask everybody on this call today, well, what would a cashier put down on their resume? Well, they're going to put down, scan items appropriately, right? Be nice to customers, make sure that my drawer balanced every night because that company wants the money that they should have been getting throughout the day, right? Keeping the place clean, sanitized, such like that. And so I think every cashier across the country would say, well, yeah, that's what I do. But the biggest thing for me, if I'm hiring a cashier, say he or she's been a cashier at XYZ grocery store, and now they're applying for mine, I know what you did as a cashier. What I want to know, just like they want to know about Chris when they were recruiting him in Alabama, is how, not that Chris was a football player, they know what he did. How well did he do it?
That's right.
Right? So is it, well, you know what? I was cashier of the month twice. My drawer balances perfectly every night. And I have been commended many times by customers for being friendly, helpful, and always going above and beyond the duty that's needed. Now, when I see a resume like that, that tells me everything that I need to know, that they take their job seriously. They're willing to get things done and get results, because results is what matters. And they're problem solvers. And that's what companies want to hire. They want to hire problem solvers.
That's right. And Tom, if I can, I want to chime in, and I see Bridget's question, and I'll address that. But, as somebody that looks at a lot of resumes, and just to put into perspective, there's one time when we posted a lineman job, and I still have nightmares about this number. We had 3,915 applications. And guess how many people we hired? 40. Okay. So your resume needs to be your elevator speech. We all have heard about that elevator speech. You meet a person that is in a position to help you get to where you're going. What are you going to say that's intentional and concise that's going to stick out? Another big thing that I think that we need to have on our resumes is an objective, because, a lot of times we may have varied work experience, and from a recruiting standpoint, well, what are you trying to do? I think it's very important, especially for the young people that are listening, that you need to have an objective of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, so that when I'm looking at your resume, and even though you may not have had any type of electrical utility experience, I know that that's something that you're interested in, and I can look at your experience and make it make sense. So it's very important. Also very important, make sure you have your contact info on there. Make sure you have a working number on there. Make sure you have an email that, no one will be embarrassed to say out loud. These things make a difference, because, like I said, this is your elevator speech. I'm not going to know you first. I'm going to know your resume, and your resume is going to be a representation of you. And based off of that, then maybe I'm going to meet you. So make sure that you put your best foot forward. And to go to Bridget's question, I think in my mind, the intention is for this to be ongoing each year, which is why we're putting so much into these first few classes, because we know once this is successful, Bridget, this is going to be a continuum. And that's our goal.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's fantastic. So, and also too, guys, we also do like in our programming, we have mock interviews. When COVID kind of dies down, I would love to have you guys come out and do mock interviews with some of my guys and make sure they're groomed and ready for the next level. So, we got another question. So, hold on. Yeah, you can take it.
Okay. So the Zach TV, right? What are a few different types of different careers while working with Alabama Power? I used to joke, Zach, that we hire for everything except veterinarians, and that's about true. It really is. If you think about, we have generating plants, so you have people hands-on, mechanics, operators that do that. So that's a very hands-on type, what Jason called skilled trade career. You've got the power delivery, basically all your line crew folks. And so those are your two biggest areas. Then also you have customer service. Well, that's some of the payment offices that we have. We don't have as many of those as we used to, but we also have a call center in downtown. And so for me, I think they would fire me from that job, because that skill set is very unique, right? You're having to be nice. You're flipping through 5 different computer screens. You're trying to bring stuff in. And the people who do that job are true angels. That's tough work, but when you got that skill set, it's a good fit. But if you also think about it, we have accounting, we have finance jobs, we have a ton of engineering jobs. I mean, everything from chemical engineering to electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. We have some industrial engineers. We have geological engineers. So they're all over the place, right? And there's tons of those jobs. And then you think there's others like marketing. We have a marketing organization, right? We have a human resources organization. Risk management. I mean, all these pieces. So when I say, we touch about everything except veterinarians, it's pretty close to being true. And so, when all those jobs get posted, if you look up, just, Google Alabama Power careers, you'll get ones that are specific for Alabama. If you go to Southern Company careers homepage, that spreads it out to our subsidiaries, as Jason mentioned, over in Mississippi and in Georgia and some other places. We have some plants scattered around. And so there's many job opportunities. Roughly each year we end up filling, it depends, 2,000, 2,500 jobs, somewhere within there, but you get about 200,000 people applying for those. And so, again, we're hiring about 1% of the people that apply. So he had a great question on, do resumes matter and what do we need to put? They matter a lot.
I'd like to ask you a question, Tom or Jason. You guys can take it. Right now, kind of everything's going on. I know it's a big push with the D&I. Do you mind talking about some of the efforts you guys are doing with the D&I, the diversity and inclusion case, for getting more minorities into great careers with the power company?
Oh man, I could talk all day about it, but Tom, I don't want to step on your toes. You let me know. Okay.
You go for it, brother.
Good deal. Well, Chris, at least as a couple of things I want to address. I'll first go with, diversity inclusion. I'll say that we definitely try not to be a reactive company and really have tried to, be very inclusive and diverse even before a lot of the societal issues that we've seen in 2020. But of course, even putting that into perspective, the type of year that we've had, our vision has not changed. And that's, hey, what are we doing to create awareness about opportunities within our company? And what can we do to make sure that folks that come to this company feel like they are a part of our brand, a part of our family? The part of the reason why I love recruiting is that, I get a kick out of going to places across the state that I know in the past we may not have gone to. And I may come up on 20, 30, 50, great young people that can get into this role. And all they needed was an opportunity. So I think, our focus has to be, and probably will continue to be, is what can we do to make sure folks are aware of the opportunities, and that, you don't have to know a guy to know a guy to know a guy to get these opportunities, which, if we're being honest tonight, why not? I think that may be the stigma that, our company may have, where you have to know somebody to work here. I can tell you, as a Georgia boy born and raised, I knew no one coming into Birmingham, and I know it worked for me, and I know it can work for others. So that's, where our company, I think this year and in years past, but especially this year, where our focus is making sure that, we are exhibiting equality in all of our practices, in our workforce, in our pay, and our quality work-life balance for everybody. And you notice that, I really don't say the word lineman. I say line worker, because like Tom alluded to, we hire males and females. I would attest to that too, Tom. Some of the greatest line workers I've hired, have been females. We're trying our best to do what we say we're going to do, because every company is doing that right now. Every company, you go to their website, they have a diversity and inclusion plan, but what meat do you have on that bone? So we're trying our best.
No, I mean, you guys been walking the walk, and you guys have been a supporter of TAP for the last 10 years since we've been in existence. So I just want everybody to know that. So that's why I kind of, some people late to the party. You guys, I mean, great staff, great people over there at Alabama Power. So yeah, do we have any more questions kind of before we get ready to wrap up? We want to kind of, Tom, hold on. Is there a need for computer engineers with Alabama Power?
Yes. Yes. So, pretty much Tom hit the nail on the head. I mean, everything except for, probably a veterinarian or I don't know, maybe a nail technician or something like that. We have a space for in the company because our business model is making, moving, and selling electricity. A lot of different jobs fall into those buckets to make that business model happen. So when you think about, I'll use an example where we would need a computer engineer or a computer science major. I know some of those folks may be on the call. No longer do we have the days where our engineers and our alignment actually have physical maps that they're laying out on the hood of the truck. They have iPads and different technology, that they can use to pinpoint, where a breaker's down or to pinpoint where there's a tree that's down and things like that. Well, our computer science folks, our computer engineers are the people that make sure that those applications, those systems are available. And there's other facets of the business where we have those folks, but want to keep it very much power delivery related tonight. And that's just one example. So no, come on, engineers, computer engineers, we need you. Okay, let's see here. Interesting.
You know who to connect him to, Jason.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Matthew, of course, you saw my information, on the screen, and also, of course, I think we had the Alabama Power website on there as well. I think, in the here and now, and I'm going to challenge you to do it within the next 24 hours. Go ahead and create an online profile with us. And the great thing about the profile is it works harder than you will. And what I mean by that is instead of having to go to the website every day looking to see if and when chemical engineering or computer engineering opportunities are going to be coming up, once those opportunities are posted by myself or a counterpart, you'll get that automatic notification prompting you to apply. And one just pro tip for you as it relates to internships, whatever the season or that you're looking for the job, the season before is when you need to start your search. So what I mean by that, do not look for a summer internship in June. It's not going to happen. We usually fill those jobs, as best as possible, at least no later than the spring in preparation, and just apply that to, whatever calendar, whatever time of the year that you would be looking for a job. So right now, with us being in what will be the fall semester of school, if you're looking for a spring semester opportunity, you need to be looking right now.
So, I mean, Matthew's one of our top scholars right now. He got a 3.9. He's a rock star down there. So, yeah, I definitely want to get him in the program, get him on the list. So, short list, get him an interview. He's a great kid, doing community service hours. So, yeah, great guy. So, yeah,
good deal.
So, yeah, like I say, I just want to I know time. I want to be mindful of you guys' time. Just real quickly, kind of just run us down the high points. I know for $4,300. 9-week program, some of the utility worker program. 10 companies going to be there, trying to hire you when it's all said and done. And the location we have Bishop State, Jeff State, and Lawson State. Correct. And I'll kind of let you guys recap that and kind of tell everybody the deadlines is September the 14th and September the 18th.
Yes.
Could you please slide back up for everybody so they can see that good information? It's just so just leave it up there for them for a second, and you guys kind of can talk through, and anything that you might want to mention that I skipped over, please feel free to kind of chime in.
Yeah. Well, like I said, great opportunity, Chris. Thanks for allowing us to talk about this today, and for the people on the show tonight. If you've got people that, again, it may not be a fit for you, but somebody. That's what we want to do, and many times I think Jason alluded to this, is that many in the minority community, that they know these guys, they know the work that happens out there. It's great, but they never knew, I kind of might have some interest in that, but I never knew how to pave a way for an opportunity there. And I will tell you what you're seeing on the screen right now, that is 3 schools that can absolutely pave the way to great opportunities, whether it be with us or with some of our contractors, whether it be Pike Electric, Asplin, utility line construction. I mean, there's so many of them. And sometimes people start there, work there for a few years, and then say, I really want to go to work at Alabama Power. Either way, if you're getting experience in the industry, it's going to open up so many opportunities for you to move and go and do things. in the utility sector. I mean, what if something happened and you're like, hey, I found the love of my life and I'm moving to Texas. Well, having this kind of background is absolutely going to pave the way to that. And these workers are in every state in the U.S. and it's a needed skill and it's not going away. And so as far as the line worker programs here at the community colleges, I manage those. I'm in charge of those. I am in charge to make sure that we are successful and that we get excellent people in there and that we get them hired. So you have my commitment that we are going to be working closely with TAP and other community partners to make sure that we're getting good people. So feel free to share to the masses as much as you would like.
And you, Jason, you can go next before you can get ready to wrap it up. And I'm going to wrap it up after you get done, Jason.
Oh, sure. No, I just want to recap, our internship opportunities, are typically going to be seasonal. I'm probably looking to fill those positions in preparation for first quarter of 2021. So for those that are on, if you can't get to me, of course, you can get to the TAP team and those resumes that, of course, going to have objective statements. You can send to me via the TAP team, and I'll be sure to communicate accordingly with you. And then I know we also want to talk about our HVAC program too before we sign off.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a program, Chris, that even since we have talked, we finally got some good details on this. So, in Alabama right now, I mean, it's been a hot summer, but not near as bad as it normally has been. So when we use the term HVAC, that really stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And so, we all appreciate that, obviously, during the summer, right? And when it's really cold in the winters. So we have a partnership with Bevel State up in Jasper and worked with them for many, many years. We've had Alabama Power has had an HVAC training program. It used to be down at Plant Mitchell, kind of in the middle of the state forever. And companies send people from like 43 different states to come and train under our instructors because selfishly, I'll tell you that they're the best in the country. If so, people would not spend the amount of money they do to send technicians here to get trained up to be able to be great at their job. So as we worked with Bevel State and our program actually moved up there, they provided a wonderful, huge building to be able to expand all the training that we needed to do. We wanted to say, what can we do with Bevel State to benefit them and students who wanted to get a career in HVAC. So you guys see them driving around town in the car or truck that says, so-and-so air conditioning and heating and such. And so you'll see on here in January and June, there's an accelerated program that will take place up there at Bevel and Jasper, where it's going to teach technical knowledge skills to basically be able to repair, install, service, and maintain heating and air conditioning systems. And so, again, all taught by our Alabama Power instructors. Then you earn a certification. You see like an EPA refrigerant handling certification, and basically you qualify to take the contractor exam. And so we had our first class this past, not this summer, but 2019. And we only had 5 students go through there. We wanted to kind of do a pilot, start it slow. But we had like 12 companies there fighting to hire the 5 people, which that's wonderful if you're one of the 5 people. It's bad if you're one of the 12 companies and you're struggling to find someone. And so when we went back to Bevel, they were like, hey, why don't we do it twice? Why don't we do it twice? And why don't we kick it up a notch here? Why don't we do, say, maybe like 10 to 12 people per class? And so, again, we committed money here. And so there's minority scholarships available. I believe the program, has been certified for WIOA. I can't guarantee that. That's kind of the school side of things. But where they're at right now, and you see that last bullet point, is if you have interest or know somebody that is, Wendy Jenkins, who's the admin there in their Workforce Solutions department, you see her phone number on there and her email. She is the one to call and say, hey, was on a call. Alabama Power was talking about this along with a TAP group. How do I get my name in the hat here? I want to do this. What are the requirements? And that they were working on a flyer, but they still had some things they just had to kind of run through and kind of get approved before they could throw the official flyer out there. And I wish we'd had that for you tonight. But if you go ahead and contact Wendy there, she can get you on the short list and be able to communicate back with you when that time comes, how to apply, put your name in the hat. But again, a great opportunity. And those people do very well. Some of them go to work for other companies. If you pass your contractor exam, you are your own company. You can put a sign on the side of your vehicle and go to work. So, Chris, you talk a lot about people becoming entrepreneurs. That is actually a way, being hands-on, where you can become an entrepreneur doing HVAC work. And then maybe later on you're running the company and you're not turning any tools at all because you've got people underneath you doing that.
Hey, you know, Tap, we love, you know, creating entrepreneurs and learning and growing. I mean, that's a great program right there. So, yes, I'm going to be referring some guys to that as well. And then also, guys, please be mindful. If you don't know about this career, that's why we're going to school. Don't let somebody talk you out of your dreams. You know, it might be your cousin, it might be your girlfriend. Say, oh, you don't know anything about that. It's okay. That's why we went to college. That's why we continue to go through this program. They're going to teach you from the beginning levels of how to do things the right way. So that's why they certify. You're going to be getting trained by the best. I cannot say that again. Do not let somebody talk you out of your dream, talk you out of your opportunity. It's your blessing. So, I mean, that's a great program. These are some fantastic programs. And yeah, we're just glad. Oh, one last question. Somebody said the time slots of the classes, are there 8-hour time slots or are they like 4 hours a day? Do you know that? You guys got that?
10-hour days.
10-hour days.
Yeah, so we're doing 10-hour days, Chris, and there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Is, you know, we get a lot done during that time, the way the topics are broken up to be able to do that. And so, yeah, we're running hard, right? I mean, we're running hard Monday through Thursday. But for people who say, well, you know, I can come do a day class. I can make that happen. But you know what? I got work on the weekends. Well, that allows for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for work. And then bam, you know, you're back in there. Now, it can be, depending on what happens in class, or, you know, maybe people need a little extra, that sometimes there's some Friday work that needs to be done. But, you know, it's just, we're all trying to be flexible with that. And so that might happen a couple of days in there. You know, when we look at January, obviously we have Martin Luther King holiday, and we're going to be off for that. And so that week, instead of being a Monday, Thursday, it could be a Tuesday, Friday. And so, again, as we work with the school and they worked all that out, you know, you go down to Mobile, they got Mardi Gras, can't be having class on Mardi Gras. So, you know, we got to be flexible down there. Right, Chris?
Yeah, I got to have the bees, baby, the bees.
Right. We got to make it happen. So, but that's a great question. So, yeah, it's full on. It is full on. But after 9 weeks, well worth it.
Well, you know, the biggest thing is I don't think 9 weeks of just going all in. You're not gonna need a job anyway. You just need to just make that commitment, and then you got time. You can apply now, get ready for 2021, put together your action item plan, and kind of just know this is what you're gonna be doing, and just commit yourself for 9 weeks, 10 weeks. You should be having a job anyways. So a little sacrifice, but in the grand scheme, it'd be worth it.
I would agree with that.
So, like I said, I just can't thank you guys enough. Please make sure you tell Tony Smoke, JP, Ralph, Wesley Britt, everybody. I appreciate you guys for sponsoring us and continue supporting the tap.
Will do. Keep up the great work.
Yes, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys, and roll tide.
Roll tide.
Yes, sir.